The city of Miami welcomes you to the Orange Bowl. And tonight, 80,000 plus have jammed their way into the Orange Bowl to watch their favorites. Tonight, they go against the St. Louis Cardinals, versus the Miami Dolphins. Yes, that's part of the enthusiastic, rabid crowd here to see their favorite team, the Miami Dolphins, and there's the record, the most impressive record in all of the National Football League. 10 games played, 10 games won. Big victories in the early going over Kansas City and Minnesota. 2 key wins over the Jets. Some say an easy schedule, but forget it. Because, as you all know, Buffalo beat San Francisco. Houston beat the Jets. Anybody can beat anybody. Ask the Los Angeles Rams about it. So give the Dolphins credit for the kind of fandom they've got here tonight, the kind of record they've produced. Their opponents, the St. Louis Cardinals. A woe-begone record, in fact, but a team that is capable of troubling a better team and maybe even winning. Witness their upset victory over the Minnesota Vikings. To tell you now about the St. Louis Cardinals, Dandy Don Meredith.
Thanks a lot, Howard. But when you've won 2, lost 7, and tied 1, you can't have a lot of things go well for you. And the Cardinals certainly haven't had a lot of things go well for them this year. You know, I kind of believe these guys. I've talked to them. They say, believe it or not, we really should have won a lot more than we have this year. Gary Cosell is the quarterback. He's been fighting for that job all year, and he's been established to go the rest of the year by Coach Bob Holloway. Cosell is not completing a high percentage of passes. He's throwing a lot of interceptions. But when things go wrong, everything goes wrong. His running backs, Donnie Anderson and Johnny Rowland. We will see Johnny Rowland tonight on your left. Break an all-time Cardinal rushing record. He needs 1 yard. Their leading rusher for the season is Donnie Anderson. And on defense, you meet a lot of guys in football, and this one right here is really very special to me. I respect this man. I'll put it this way. There's not anybody I've ever played I respect more than Larry Wilson, and I know he must be hurting because his team ranks number 13 out of 13 teams in defense. But he's a player coach. He's established as a strong side safety tonight, and he's going to be around where that ball is. Frank, what have the Miami Dolphins been doing all year to win all those ball games? Tell me now. Tell me now, Frank.
Well, Don, they're a little bit of awesome. They've had their problems. Early in the year, their quarterback, their all-conference quarterback, Bob Greasy, was injured. Fortunately, Don Shula had thought about that in advance, and he had his old sidekick, Earl Morrill, to come on and take over for Bob Greasy. Earl Morrill in his 17th year out of Michigan State. This is his 5th ball club. In 1968, for Don Shula, he led the Baltimore Colts to the Super Bowl. But Earl Morrill has a lot of help with these Miami Dolphins. Offensively, they have great running. They rank number 1 in the conference rushing. On the left, the big man, of course, Larry Zonka, with over 800 yards. Mercury Morris, having his best year, over 600 yards. And in the wings, Jim Kidd, who can run, pass, he can do it all. Defensively, well, the Dolphins are number 1 in every category in the conference. And one of the big reasons, the veteran at the middle linebacking position, number 85, Nick Bonacani. They call themselves the no-name gang because they really don't get a lot of publicity. They're not very sensitive about it, but they are a great defensive football team. We're looking forward to it. The Cardinals could surprise. We don't think so. And we'll be back at the Orange Bowl for the kickoff right after this message.
Rick Weaver, Lou Prickmer, and Henry Barrow back at the Orange Bowl. Bakken is preparing to kick off, and here we go. He gets the toe into it. It is high, and it is deep. It is to Charlie Lee on the goal line. Out straight ahead, 5, 10, 15 to the 20. He's knocked down at the 25-yard line. Charlie Lee is tripped up at the 25 by Chuck Beatty, who was just activated today, a member of the specialty teams. There is a flag down back at the Dolphins' 45-yard line, and we'll see what this is all about.
And Ricky only caught him by the shoe. Otherwise, Charlie would have been gone all the way.
It is going to be a holding call on the kickoff against Marlon Briscoe, I believe, who was playing on the specialty teams. Now let's see what the call is. That's what it is, holding on the kickoff back at the 12-yard line. Dolphins have Stowe and Twilley as the wide receivers. Crusan and Evans are the tackles. Fleming the tight end. Kuchenberg and Little the guards. Langer at center. Kick and Zonka are the running backs. Morrill is the quarterback. And thus far in the ball game, the Dolphins have not looked too good, and that's putting it mildly. They've had a couple of penalties against them. It'll be a 3rd down and 19 for Miami, who have maintained possession here for about 4.5 minutes and have not gotten the ball across their own 45-yard line. Here is Twilley, and Stowe split to the near side. Back to throw goes Morrill. He looks, swings a screen out to Kick. He gets a block at the 35, shakes a tackle at the 40, and he's knocked down up at about the 43-yard line. Jim Kick picks up about 8 yards. Bob Rowe, a defensive tackle for the Cardinals, makes the stop on the play. That is not enough for a first down, so we'll get our first look at Billy Lothridge, number 7, whom the Dolphins signed as a free agent this past week, an 8-year veteran. We timed hanging the football up there about 5 seconds, which is excellent. Played his college ball at Missouri. Here's the snap. Lothridge gets a pretty good rush. He gets it up there. It'll be grabbed back at the 24-yard line and down immediately as the Dolphins specialty team is down on top of them. Howard Kindig is down to make the tackle. And so the Cardinals will start from their 24-yard line. We get a timeout. Dolphin football action continues from the Orange Bowl. With the score, our Dolphins nothing, St. Louis nothing. Rick Weaver back at the Orange Bowl. We got a first look at the Cardinals offensively following the 33-yard punt by Lothridge. Gary Cosell is the quarterback. Donnie Anderson, Johnny Rowland set in the eye. And in motion to the near side comes the flanker. Here's the handoff going to Donnie Anderson trying to hit the left side. And he gets no place. He is stopped by Manny Fernandez. For no gain on the play.
Anderson was the ball carrier.
Donnie Anderson, the ball carrier. They put the ball down at the 25, so give him a gain of a yard. As it didn't look from here as if he picked up anything, but they give him a gain of a yard. It'll be second down and 9.
26.
Bobby Moore and Walker Gillette are the wide receivers. Gillette, along with Jackie Smith, the tight end, split off the far side, and they set in a tandem. Here's the pass. He flares one out on the screen to Walker Gillette. He fumbles a football. It's loose at the Cardinals 29. Recovered for the Dolphins. The pass was complete, a screen off that double set by the tight end Smith and by Gillette. Gillette caught the ball. He was hit, fumbled, and safety Dick Anderson comes up with it for the Dolphins at the Cardinals 29-yard line. So the Dolphins come up with the football for the first time, even before we could set the Cardinals' offensive attack for you. Pass was complete to wide receiver Walker Gillette, and Anderson recovered, so the Dolphins have it at the St. Louis 29-yard line. Now let's see if Morrow can move this football team. He was not able to do so with a great deal of efficiency the first time they had the ball. A tight set. Here's the handoff. Morris is hit right at the line of scrimmage, trying to go straight ahead, and the Merc gets nothing. We'll call it a second down and 11 at the St. Louis 30-yard line, and this St. Louis defense, particularly against the rush, has been very good so far. 8:20 to go in the first quarter. There's no score. Otto Stoll splits left, 20 to the near side. Morris and Zonka, the I-backs, and behind Morrill. Second and 11. Here is the handoff to Merck. Sweep to the right side. Gets the corner turned, and he does not get very far as he's belted out of bounds at about the 25. All right, the ball at about the Cardinals' 25.5-yard line. Stoll splits to the far side, 20 to the near side. Now Zonka sets as a slot man left. Kick the other running back in behind Morrill. Third down and about 6. Earl drops to throw. Fires a slant in. Twilley at the 10. Inside the 10 to the 8-yard line. Howard Twilley knocked down by cornerback Miller Farr. Just a slant over the middle, and Morrill hit it right in the numbers. Hit him with a strike. And Twilley got inside Farr, and Farr made the tackle from behind. And the Dolphins pick up a first and goal situation off the 17-yard pass completion from Morrill to Howard Twilley. So the Dolphins have the football at the Cardinals' 8-yard line.
Rick, that was just a simple slant to Twilley in there right over the middle, and I'm sure Farr thought that he could cover because he's so deceptive with his speed.
Stoll wide to the left, Twilley inside off the near side. Kick and Zonka split backs in behind Morrill. First and goal from the 8-yard line. Hand off to Zonk. Sweep to the left side. He gets the corner turn to the 5. Drags a tackler with him, and he's knocked out of bounds at the 5-yard line. It'll be a second down and goal. Dolphins football at the Cardinals' 5-yard line. Earl with a long count at the line of scrimmage. Hands off. Zonka hits the middle on the quick hitter into the middle as Morrill, moving away from the line of scrimmage, hands the ball off to Zonka as he goes by. And Zonka moves down to about the 2-yard line. A tackle made by John Richardson, the former Dolphin from UCLA, and Bob Rowe, the 2 defensive tackle. Put the ball down at the 2. It'll be third down and goal from the 2-yard line. Mandich comes in, and Stowe comes out. The Dolphins have the 2 tight ends.
Let's see if Earl goes with that favorite play of his, Rick, here, and goes on the end run that he's run so successfully all year long.
Third and goal from the 2. Twilley sets as a wingman left. And Zonka and Kick are the splitbacks. In behind Morrill. Here's the handoff to Kick over the left side. He digs and drives and bucks his way into the end zone for a touchdown. And here come our white handkerchiefs. Jim Kick was hit by cornerback Norm Thompson at about the line of scrimmage, and he just carried him into the end zone with just a great leg drive and carrying him into the end zone. Kick picks up the score, his 4th touchdown of the season, and it's a 6-0 ball game. On the try for point, Yepremian puts her right through the uprights, and the Dolphins now have a 7-0 lead with 5:57 left to go in this first quarter. And on that particular drive, the Dolphins moved the football 29 yards in 6 plays, and this was keyed by Anderson's recovery of Gillette's fumble following the pass reception from Gary Cosell. A 2nd down, 7. Cardinals football from their 27. Cosell. Quick in the middle to Smith. He's got it in the 40. Breaks the tackle. 45. Outside of the 50 into Dolphin territory at the 45 and knocked down at the Miami 41-yard line. A great effort by 11-year veteran Jackie Smith from northwestern Louisiana. The tight end, the tackle by Colin and Jake Scott. 31-yard pass completion at the Dolphins' 42-yard line. Double wide receivers split off to the far side. Here's the handoff. Going inside is Johnny Rowland over the right side. He gets about 4 yards to the Miami 38-yard line before he is knocked down by tackle Bob Hines. Defensively for the Dolphins, Denherter, Fernandez, Hines, and Stanfill on the front 4. Swift, Bonaconte, and Cole on the linebackers. Foley and Johnson the quarterbacks, and Jake Scott and Dick Anderson the safeties. 2nd down and 6. Cardinals ball at the Miami 38-yard line. Miami out in front 7-0. Corazzo up under center barks the signals. He's a dentist. Here is the handoff going to Rowland over the left side. 30, 25 down to the 22-yard line. Rambles Johnny Rowland. And the Dolphins now face a tough defensive situation as the fans set up the defense chant. The ball is at the Miami 21 with a 3rd down and 9 situation. 2 minutes, 5 seconds left to go in the first period. On 3rd down and 9 from the 21, back to throw. Cosell. He fires the middle, knocked down, almost intercepted at the 10-yard line. Jake Scott. The ball hit him right in the numbers and bounced off his chest. The pass was intended for Johnny Rowland. And it's an incompletion, so that brings in the field goal unit with Jim Bakken. Bakken, 11 for 17 on the season in the field goal department with 45 points. A right-footed kicker who played his college ball at the University of Wisconsin. Larry Wilson will hold. This will be a 28-yard attempt. Snap was a little bit high. Set down, the kick is up. It's no good, off to the left. That snap was a little bit high. And so the Dolphins hold and take over at their 20-yard line. Bakken misses a 28-yard field goal attempt. The snap was a little bit high, but there's a timeout on the field. Dolphin football action continues from the Orange Bowl with the score. Our Dolphins 7, the Cardinals nothing. That's the end of the first quarter. Dolphin football action continues from the Orange Bowl with the score. Our Dolphins 7, St. Louis nothing.
And Larry Little's Dolphins have a 2nd down and 8. The ball at the 32, their own 32. We begin the second quarter.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Number 82, Otto Stowe, in his 2nd year out of Iowa State, and he has replaced Paul Warfield, and that's not an easy job.
That's exactly the point, though. They're deep and wide receivers, much in the manner of the Dallas Cowboys. Watch Stowe here.
Pass was a little bit low in there, but Otto jumped down there and got it.
3rd down and 4. The ball at the 46-yard line of the Cardinals. All right, the 3 wide receiver offense comes in. Howard Twilley replaces the tight end, Marv Fleming. 81, top of your screen. Stowe will be in the slot. Out to the left goes Briscoe, number 86. The draw play to Morris. And Morris is nailed by former Dolphin John Richardson, number 71. And out trots Garo Yepremian, and he is going to have to kick a long one. Mark it at the 54. Now, he's made one this year already. 54 yards away from 3 points for Miami. This will be Roger Worley. And Worley comes up 3 yards short of letting it go through the end zone. Stopped there by Larry Little. So the score remains the Dolphins 7, the Cardinals nothing, and we'll be back right after this. 12 minutes and 16 seconds remain in the half. The Miami Dolphins out in front of the St. Louis Cardinals, 7-0. Garo Yepremian has just missed on a 54-yard field goal attempt. This is the Cardinals quarterback, Gary Cosell. In motion goes Mel Gray. The toss goes after Donnie Anderson. He can pass. And watch out. And Mel Gray, the speedster, crosses the 50, out of bounds at the 49, driven out of bounds by Jake Scott. 3rd and 3 from the 42. Dick Anderson, and he can turn on the excitement.
I'll tell you, he's too much.
Finally stopped by Walker Gillette. That pass thrown behind, Don.
He is always where the football is.
And right now, the Dolphins, from the 45-yard line of the Cardinals on 3rd and 3. Morrow trying to go out to Morris, incomplete. And I would suppose that little Garrow, Yopremian, will have another shot from about 2 yards closer, probably about the 49-yard line of Miami, or a 51-yard field goal attempt. And the 52 is blocked. And Larry Wilson,
He's picked him up and gone before. Wait a minute.
Garrow ended up with the football. It, of course, does not matter. All right, now the Cardinals have their break.
Let's see, it appeared to be, well, it's not too low either. That was just a kid. Who is that? Who is that guy? Number 75, Bob Rowe. I think that's the 4th field goal he's blocked this year.
So a big break for the Cardinals. They trail 7-0. We'll be back after this. Bob Rowe just blocked a Miami field goal attempt for 51 yards. The Cardinals with their first major turnover. 1st and 10, they move at Miami's 35-yard mark. The play fake by Gary Cosell. And oh, is he nailed by Van Herter. Van Herter. All right, it'll be 3rd down now and 17. 8 minutes, 11 seconds remaining in the half. Again, Miami out in front, 7-0. Jim Kick went in from 2 yards out. That in the first quarter. The Dolphins have missed 2 field goal attempts, one of 54 and one of 51. On 3rd and 17, the Dolphins with their 3-man rush, 3 big men. They have brought Matheson, 53, in the extra linebacker. Mel Gray motions left. Out to Donnie Anderson. He can't hold on to it.
That's another one looked like he was in there. Tell you, for a dentist, he's throwing pretty well tonight.
Well, I'll tell you, they may go for the field goal now, and this would have to be a very long one by Jim Bakken, who was once perhaps the most consistent of all place kickers in the league.
But this will be Bakken's attempt from 49 yards away.
Good.
And it's good. Jim Bakken from 49 yards out.
Just as we were saying, Gifford, he can kick him from 50, but he can't from 27.
And we have 7:59 remaining in the half.
This is going to be Don's problem, Shula's problem, to keep this team up and alive and going. A supposedly weak St. Louis team giving them at this point a good game of it at 7-3.
The Miami Dolphins making a couple of changes. Jim Mandich has come in at tight end, 88. In at offensive left tackle, number 79 is Wayne Moore, as Doug Cruzan has gone to the bench. It's 2nd down and 9. Dick with about a yard gain. The screen goes to Briscoe, and he can throw it also.
That's 3 for 3 for him. Yeah, that's pretty. That's a pretty play. I like that. That's fun.
You're right about Briscoe being able to throw. He played quarterback, as most of you know, in the American Football League.
And Otto Stowe is the receiver with a 26-yard gain.
There's a lateral out to Briscoe. He sets to throw it. You can tell he's done it before. Otto Stowe is there.
When you've got Stowe and Twilly and Briscoe, that shows the depth you need to win a championship.
And they're all 3 in now on 3rd down and 7. Marv Fleming, the tight end, coming out on the sure pass. Oh, and Larry Wilson. Oh, wait a minute. Flag goes down. Mark Arneson and Larry Wilson, I believe, both made contact. Pushing, pass interference, 1st down, Miami. 4 minutes, 54 seconds. Ball marked now at the 27-yard line. All right, it'll be 2nd down now and 18. The receivers are Briscoe. He goes to the right, Stowe's out to the left. The tight end, Mandich, is in now, the 3rd-year man out of Michigan, replacing Marv Fleming. In there. Briscoe. Marlon Briscoe. He's got the 1st down. He's inside the 15.
I was talking about a while ago, this guy does have a lot of speed, too. And when they picked him up, That was one of the reasons, because he can't move. He's just going down, and he's working on Miller Farr, number 20. Comes through on the inside. That's a well-thrown football, by the way. Right in the seams. That's Stallings, number 67. But look at him when he gets it. He's got his eye moving for that defensive back.
All right, third down now and 15. The ball marked at the 13. Briscoe out to the right, Stowe out to the left. Going deep for Briscoe, and this time covering Briscoe well was number 20, Miller Farr, brother of Mel Farr. Fine brother act in the National Football League. So Garo Yepremian comes on, and this man has not missed all of last year from inside the 30, nor has he this year. 14 of 24 overall, 15 of 25. You can almost say it's automatic when it's inside the 30 for Garo Yepremian. As the Dolphins extend their lead over the Cardinals to 10-3.
Let's take a look at the time of possession, which I think tells an awful lot about Miami's dominance, but it's not the kind of dominance that you'd expect in the score. 20 minutes in effect to 8 minutes, more than double the time of possession, and yet it's a 10-3 ball game.
And there is the 2-minute warning. Gary Quazzo going over to discuss things with Bob Holloway, and we'll be back at the Orange Bowl of Miami. Third down and 16. Clock shows 1:39. The Cardinals trailing 10-3. The draw play now to Donnie Anderson. The Cardinals go back to their set offense. Out to the 35, mark it at the 36. Manny Fernandez made the stop, number 75. 1:27 on the clock, and dropping deep is Jake Scott, number 13. And Dick Anderson, number 40. 40 up close is Anderson, deep is Scott. Anderson, the left-footed kicker, and he can get it up there. Scott risking it at the 15. Fumble. Cardinals have the ball.
Fumble. Oh, I love it. I love it.
Well, he could not have advanced had not Scott had possession, but he did have possession. He fumbled the ball and is marked at the 8-yard line. 1 minute and 11 seconds show on the clock.
Monday Night Football. It only happen here, Don.
Let's see what happens to him, because here's Scott. There's a tackle right there, number 31. He's just been activated. I don't know who that is.
He wants to play. All right. Bobby Moore goes out to the left. Out to the right comes Mel Gray. First and goal for the Cardinals. They're at the 8-yard line. Donnie Anderson fumbles. And this time it's picked off by Stanfield.
I tell you. Well, that could have really turned it around right there. If they could have brought that one in there, we could have been in a big upset. Let's see. I didn't see Donnie get hit. He's got the ball. He never did get a good exchange from Quazzo. Looked like he reached for it a little bit. That's Stanfield, number 84, who picks it up. He can advance it. And he almost fumbled. Should have lateral.
He was thinking about it, and that may be why he almost fumbled. But what a succession or even comedy of errors.
Clock moving. St. Louis now with 3 turnovers. Miami with 1. They have the lead, though. This is Donka. He doesn't fumble. He didn't fumble at all last year until that critical point in the Super Bowl. This is kick. And kick over the 30 to about the 31-yard line. Working on the clock now. And quickly they line up.
Why do you think they haven't been using Morris that much tonight, Don?
I don't really know. Oh, that was in there.
Briscoe holds on.
And man, what a lick.
Oh, he took a shot.
Roger Worley may be down on that one because he took a heck of a lick from Briscoe. The ball was well thrown. The referee is going to call timeout. There's an injury play. Let's take a look at it. Marlon Briscoe, that ball is right in there. And look at Roger Worley, number 22. He's down.
First and 10 from the Dolphins' 48. Briscoe again. Marlon Briscoe.
He's throwing that ball well, Frank. That ball was well timed. It appears that they're out of time.
The Dolphins had no more timeouts, Don.
That's right.
You saw the referee shake his head. The time has run out.
Well, that's that receiver. Briscoe, if he could have at all gotten out of bounds, that would have given him almost a sure field goal.
And that's the story at halftime. The undefeated Miami Dolphins out in front of the Cardinals 10-3.
Sunoco announces the football event of the year. It's NFL Action 72. Here's Coach Don Shula to tell you about it.
Now, Sunoco brings you something you parents will be interested in because it's fun for the entire family. Sunoco brings you NFL Action player stamps with stars from every pro team. Every time that you stop at a participating Sunoco station, you get a set of 9 official NFL Action player stamps. Free. They're great to collect and trade. And to help you save your stamps, there are 2 official Stamp Saver albums. This regular edition is 89 cents. And for $2.49, you get this deluxe album full of facts and photos. Both albums come with 144 extra player stamps. So get your family in on the fun.
Get NFL Action player stamps free at Sunoco.
Of course, the Miami Dolphins have clinched their Eastern Division of the American Football Conference, but they could be in a little bit of trouble tonight against the Cardinals. There is the halftime score.
Which leads us up to our halftime highlights. Another surprising day in the National Football League. So to the highlights as selected by our producers and NFL Films. The hopeful but worried face of San Francisco coach Dick Nolan. His 49ers must go on this Thanksgiving Day against the Dallas Cowboys in Texas Stadium. And this kind of defensive effort by Cedric Hartman as he sacks Craig Morton for a loss typified the play of San Francisco throughout the day. But the early foot was to Dallas. They're ahead 7-0. We're 6 minutes into the second quarter. And Craig Morton is dumped. You saw him fumble the ball. It's picked off by number 52, Skip Vanderbunt. He returns it 73 yards downfield for a touchdown. That tied it at 7-7. After this play, San Francisco dominated the game. In the fourth quarter, they were ahead 24-10. 9:30 elapsed. Morton desperate. Passing. Picked off again by Vanderbunt. And it's another San Francisco touchdown. Final score 31-10. 49ers over Dallas. Brown is beautiful. That could only be whom you think it is. Number 43, Larry Brown. The Redskins are playing the Pack at home. We're midway in the second quarter, and that's Larry Brown as he acrobats his way in for a touchdown, a 2-yard run, and it's a 7-3 lead for Washington. We've got about 2 minutes left in the half. Little more than that. That's Charlie Haraway. They call him a third guard. He's a running back, but what a blocker. This time he moves for 24 yards and sets this play up late in the half. It's Billy Kilman, number 17. To the tight end, Jerry Smith. What a money player he is. Touchdown, 14-3 Redskins. Moving ahead to the third quarter, Jerry Taggy, number 17, is in. The young man who grew up in Green Bay, but went to the University of Nebraska. What a pitch to Dave Davis. As you saw, he had touchdown written all over that throw, but Davis couldn't handle it. Now in the fourth quarter, on the very third play, the score 14-6 Washington. Taggy throwing 15 yards downfield. This time, Davis plays Potsy with it, but holds on to it, and it's a 15-yard gain for the Pack. That sets up the very next play. Taggy handing off to MacArthur Lane. He busts through. Touchdown. Forget the fumble. The ball was dead. Touchdown. 14-13 the Redskins at this point. This Redskin team, as you know, is an opportunistic team that capitalizes on scoring opportunities. Billy Kilmer to Charlie Tell. Touchdown. Washington goes on to win a very big one from the Pack, 21-16. The band at Cleveland's Municipal Stadium strikes up a happy note. Cleveland doing surprisingly well this year, tied with Pittsburgh for first Central Division AFC, but they're going against the Bills, and number 32, O.J. Simpson, moves in for an early touchdown. It's 7-0 Buffalo. What a year O.J. is having. He went over 1,000 yards on the season on this day. But this young man, Mike Fitz from Purdue, is really finding himself. Here he spots Leroy Kelly, and it's a touchdown that ties it up at 10-10 for the Browns against the Bills. This action came with 50 seconds left in the first half. Moving ahead to the fourth quarter, the Browns leading 17-10. The third play of the quarter. Leo Hart, the quarterback now for the Bills. The ball is deflected by Dale Lindsey, picked off by Nick Roman. He moves downfield for the first touchdown of his pro football career, and the Browns go on to defeat the Bills 27-10. I mentioned the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's their home, Three Rivers Stadium at the Great Confluence in a big game today against the Vikings, and this reflects the kind of problems the Vikings had on this day. Paul Krause trying to handle the ball on an attempted field goal, couldn't. Now watch this. Same attempted kind of play, but different result. Now Krause looking to pass out of the untenable situation, and an ineligible receiver downfield, so you could forget the whole thing. But Minnesota's a tough team to beat. They were ahead 3-0, and indeed some favored them in this game when Franco Harris, number 32, the rookie from Penn State, who so resembles Jimmy Brown, moved in for a touchdown to put the Steelers ahead 7-3. That was in the first quarter. Now, more action. The score still 7-3. A screen pass from Bradshaw to Ron Shanklin, the wide receiver. The net result, a 43-yard gain. That set up a Pittsburgh field goal to make it Steelers 10, the Vikes 3. And that score sustained until the fourth period, with 10 minutes remaining. Tarkenton coming back as he's done so often, looking for John Gilliam, who's become his favorite target with the Vikes. And it's another long gainer, Tarkenton to Gilliam. Not a touchdown bomb, not quite, as he stumbles behind that blocker and finally is gotten down from the rear, but it's a 63-yard gain, setting up this play. Tarkenton dropping back, looking left, then turning right, and hitting Stu Voigt for the touchdown that produced a 10-10 tie. Side, turn the corner on the outside. Show the amazing speed for the big man. Downfield. A 61-yard gain, which set up a Bradshaw 1-yard plunge for a touchdown. The extra point failed. It was 16-10 Pittsburgh. Now, a minute 30 left in the game. The pass goes from Bradshaw to Frank Lewis, the speedster from Grambling, and he moves down 17 yards for the touchdown that clinches it for the new powerhouse in the National Football League, the Pittsburgh Steelers, who have a showdown game against Cleveland next week in their division.
The deep men will be speedsters Bobby Moore and Mel Gray. Both of them are flyers. And Gray is off to the far side and Moore down the near side. 10-3, Dolphins out in front. Here is the whistle. Yepremian forward gets the toe into it. He gets it high. And it's going to be deep, about 2 yards deep, taken by Gray. He'll run it out. 5-10 to the near side. 15 to the 20. He is cracked. Really tripped up across the 20-yard line by Curtis Johnson. He went flying through the air and landed up at about the 23-yard line, and so it'll be about a 24, 25-yard return. On a third down and 8 situation for St. Louis at their 39. They got as far as the Dolphins 8 on a fumble recovery that went out of bounds, and then the Dolphins took the ball right back from them, prevented a touchdown score. Here's a play fake by Quazzo. He drops deep. He fires. It is overthrown and almost intercepted. The receiver was cutting inside, and he was throwing to the sidelines. The pass was intended for Mel Gray, and he threw it high, and several of the Dolphins had a better shot at it than Gray because he was breaking the wrong way. It's the line of scrimmage, the Cardinal 39. He's standing back at about the 23. Dick Anderson is the shallow man. Jake Scott, the deep man, to field the punt. Donnie, the left-footed kidder, gets it up in the air. It's grabbed at the 25 by Scott. He is hit, bounces off a tackler, and is really smacked at the 30-yard line. A 5-yard return, and several Cardinals appeared to hit after the whistle. No flag on the play. Rick Weaver back at the Orange Bowl. Morrill, the quarterback. Morris and Zonka, the I-backs behind Earl. And Otto Stowe and Marlon Briscoe, the wide receivers. Stowe split near side, Briscoe to the far side. Dolphins from our 31. Here's the handoff, and Zonka busts the middle and gets about a yard to the 32. Ball at the Dolphin 32, second down and 9. Waiting for the snap from center with Zonka and Morris in the eye. Handoff goes to Mercury, bounces off a tackler inside, cuts outside. He is being thrown out of bounds on the far side of the field at the 33-yard line. And grabbing him by one arm was Larry Wilson, and refusing to let go, and he just whipped him around and tossed him out of bounds. Third down and 8, Dolphins from their 33-yard line, moving from our right to our left. Morrill drops to throw, has good protection, fires over the middle, complete the kick at the 40. He's up to the 44, and he's got the first down. Jim Kick, circling out of the backfield, was the man as Morrow hustled that ball out of there. Miller Farr, his left cornerback spot. Middle linebacker Mark Arneson made the tackle on the play, and the Dolphins have a first down at the Miami 44-yard line as Morrow hits Jim Kick for the first down pickup. 11 minutes, 30 seconds to go in period number 3. The Dolphins lead just by a 10-3 margin. Briscoe and Stowe split to the near side. Kick and Zonka are the I-backs, and behind Earl Morrow. Dolphins first down from our 44. Here's the handoff going to Kick. He finds a hole on the right side. 50, 45, 40 inside the 40-yard line. Goes Zonka. It was Larry Zonka and not Kick, and he really squirted through a hole on that right side with a great block from Jim Kick as Morrow, a deceptive handoff, great faking, rolled to his right, handed off to Zonka, and he busted through the right side.
And I'll tell you, Rick, that looked like our offensive line again, giving the back some holes.
First down for the Dolphins at the Cardinals' 38-yard line as Larry Zonka rips off a big gain. He and Kick remain the I-backs. First down at the Cardinals' 38. Here's the handoff to Kick this time. He finds a small opening in the middle, and it closes in a hurry as he gets only a yard to the 37. Bob Rowe, defensive tackle, makes the stop on the play for St. Louis along with John Richardson, the two tackles. And Jim Mandich comes into the Dolphin lineup.
Kick just missed the hole on that play, Rick. That's supposed to be over the left guard, over Kuchenberg, and it closed up just a little bit on him, and he decided to go to the right and ran right into the horde, right into the pack.
Okay, the Dolphins now have a second down and 9 at the St. Louis 37-yard line, and they have been tough and close tonight. The Dolphins have not been able to put it together, a sustained drive for a touchdown. Here is Morrow dropping back to throw, dropping deep. Now steps in the pocket, firing deep. Down here is Stowe. He's got a touchdown, Dolphins. Stowe with a sensational grab right at the goal line. He caught the ball, fell backwards into the end zone as Morrow lofted it and hit him right on the numbers. Norm Thompson, the cornerback on the right side, was beaten on the play as Otto Stowe comes up with his first touchdown. That drive, 69 yards, 6 plays, 37-yard TD pass from Morrow to Stowe. The big play, Zonka's 18-yard run. 9:54 to go in this third quarter. Dolphin football action continues from the Orange Bowl with a score, Dolphins 17, St. Louis 3. The Dolphin defense stops the Cardinals again, and Donnie Anderson will punt on fourth down. Jake Scott goes back as the deep man, and Dick Anderson will be the shallow man with 8 minutes and 12 seconds left to play in the third quarter. Line of scrimmage, the Cardinal 21. Anderson stands at the 5, waiting for the snap. Here it is, a good snap, one-man rush. Low trajectory kick grabbed by Anderson on the run. He fumbles a ball at the 50, and the Cardinals, I believe, recover at the 47-yard line, their own 47.
Rick, that's one of the hardest balls in the world to catch. He kicked that ball end over end, and as it came down, no one should have touched it because there's no way that you can really get your eye on the ball and control it.
Fred Hyatt came up with the fumble recovery. He is a reserve wide receiver. And so the Cardinals come out of that one smelling like the proverbial rose. And will be a second down coming up from the 48-yard line. Johnny Rowland, they got 3 wide receivers in there. He's the only running back in behind Quazzo. Now here comes Gray in motion to the far side. Back to throw. Here's Quazzo. Here's the pass. And it is almost intercepted by the Dolphins' Mike Colin. It was a swing pass out to the far side of the field. Was intended for Mel Gray, who was the man in motion. And Colin, as the ball was juggled around by Gray, had an interception. Nobody could have caught him down the far sidelines, and he couldn't hold on to the ball. All right, a third down and 10 for the Cardinals from their 48-yard line on the incompletion. Gray, as they ran the same play again, and Moore did not go in motion that time. Gray went in motion, just took the swing pass, bopped out of his hands, and Colin charging up the linebacker spot. Now here he goes again. Gray in motion to the far side. Back to throw. Quazzo throwing deep up the far side. This time it is picked off by Curtis Johnson. 35, 40, 45 in Dolphin territory. And the Dolphins, Curtis Johnson comes up with a pass interception, his first of the season. And the Dolphins take the football back, and they put it down at the Miami 46. with 6 minutes, 50 seconds to go in the third quarter. Dolphins with the short yardage blocking unit up there. The ball at the Cardinal 46, a third down and 2. 5 minutes, 42 seconds left to play in period number 3. Waiting for the snap is Earl Morrill. He's hands off the kick, sweep to the right behind Little. He slips and falls down, and he gets no gain on the play. Never did get the corner turned on the far side of the field, and his leg appeared to go out from beneath him. Don Shula, with just a 14-point lead here in the third quarter, is sending in the punting unit to get the Cardinals back as deep as he can. Worley and Gray are the two deep men, and Lothridge will punt from the Dolphins' 39. All right, waiting for the snap, the line of scrimmage, the Cardinal 46. Here's Lothridge's punt. He gets off a booming spiral, bounces down at the 6, inside the 5, and down at the 3-yard line by the Dolphins punt coverage team. Covering was Lloyd Mumford. He was the man who was down there. That ball hit at the 6-yard line and bounced straight up in the air and gave Mumford a chance to get under it and down it at the 3. So it's a 43-yard kick by Billy Lothridge, and the Cardinals now have their backs to the wall. We have a timeout. Dolphin football action continues from the Orange Bowl with the score, our Dolphins 17, the Cardinals 3. Rick Weaver back at the Orange Bowl. Jim Hart making his first appearance at quarterback for the Cardinals now from Southern Illinois. Cardinals ball at their 3-yard line. Moving from our left to our right. Here is a handoff. A flag goes down. Johnny Rowland took the handoff. It didn't get very far, maybe to the 5-yard line, and that's all. Mike Colin is now playing at middle linebacker for the Dolphins. Jesse Powell playing at the weak side, and Bob Matheson is playing up front. And the illegal motion penalty against the Cardinals has been declined. So the ball will be set down. They'll get the gain out to about the 6-yard line, and the Dolphins elect to take the down and keep the pressure on. It'll be a second down coming up, and about 7 for the Cardinals, the ball at their 6-yard line. They break out of the huddle with Moore sprinting off to the far side, and Gray split near side. Anderson and Rowland the split backs, and behind quarterback Jimmy Hart, waiting for the snap. From the 6, long count. Somebody jumps from the Dolphins, gets back. Here's Hart throwing to the near side, overthrown, incomplete. Was intended for Mel Gray. That'll bring up a third down. At about 7 for St. Louis, the ball at their 6-yard line. Moore splits far side, Gray to the near side. Bainham and Rowland are the split backs. 3rd and 7, Cardinals from their 6-yard line. On the snap, Hart dropping back under the goalpost. He sets up the fire. He throws. It is picked off by Foley. 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown. Lloyd Mumford, I beg your pardon. Lloyd Mumford is the man who picked it off. He had just come in as the 5th defensive back for the Dolphins, and Mumford picked the pass off at about the 25 and just ran it in down the sidelines for the TD. So Mumford gets a touchdown. That is his 3rd interception. Foley was playing up close that time, and Mumford was back as a defensive back.
Intercepted by Mumford at the 20.
And Mumford runs it in about 25 yards for the TD. Garo Yepremian will try the point from placement. Morrill will hold. Kick is up, and it is perfect. With 4 minutes and 11 seconds left to go in this third quarter, the Dolphins now move out to a 24-3 lead. Let's pause here for station identification on the Miami Dolphins Football Network.
You're always a winner when you get your guaranteed used cars at William Lehman Used Cars, 167th Street in North Miami Beach.
WIOD Miami.
As the gun sounds, that's the end of the third period. Dolphin football action will continue from the Orange Bowl. With the score, our Dolphins 23 and the Cardinals 3.
2nd down and 5. Ball resting at the 19-yard line of the Miami Dolphins. In control of the football game, 24-3 over the Cardinals as we begin the fourth quarter. Morrill going all the way. And fires for Briscoe, a little long. 3rd down now and 5. Pulley is in, along with Stowe. Morrill has Pulley right, Stowe left. Oh, and, well, when you read the zone, sometimes you confuse your quarterback. Or vice versa.
Yeah, I don't know why, but my instinct tells me that Cosell was the one that was supposed to go deep that time. Of course, my instinct ain't always right. Very seldom is.
But it's good instinct.
Yeah, instinct. Man, you got to have it. It's like momentum. They change jerseys a lot.
Morrow to the sidelines. Out comes Billy Lothridge, who was called in from Atlanta, where he is retired and was in business after being relieved from his duties with Atlanta last year.
He sure has him a pretty little old Texas bride. Came down there and married old Mary Beth and took her back to Georgia.
All right, Roger Worley. And Worley right at the 50-yard mark. ABC's NFL Monday Night Football, the St. Louis Cardinals versus the Miami Dolphins, continues from the Orange Bowl in Miami, Florida, with the score: the Dolphins 23, the Cardinals 3. All right, the Cardinals in good field position. However, trailing 24-3, they have a big job out in front of themselves. They'll move 1st and 10 from their own 49. Leo Hayden has come into the backfield for the Cardinals, number 32. He gets the play fake. And the screen goes out to Moore. And Moore gets the first down. The ball at the 39. First down and 25. The Cardinals trailing 24-3, 12:46 remaining in the game. And here comes Mel Gray. Hart firing to Jackie Smith.
Tell you, the ball was well thrown. There goes the flag. Appears to be maybe a little unnecessary roughness, or whatever you call it. Grab it with her hands and put it away. You'll see Smith coming on a cross. We call it a cross pattern. The ball is well thrown. Watch those hands that he had in there. Let's see. I think we maybe get a late hit. Yep. And that's what the flag is. Another 15 yards. So the Cardinals are first down right in there in good scoring position.
That puts the ball at the 13-yard line of the Dolphins. We've got a 4th down, almost 2 yards to go, and this call will have come from the bench. Not that one. Well, look at Jim Hart. First down.
On a busted play in the backfield.
Great call. Mike Tolan.
Any way you can get it. There's a mix-up. You can see that. I think that's what he was supposed to do, was fake and go out, because you see a pull by the guard there, but he looked to me, he ran into, was that Leon Burns he ran into, or was it Hayden?
Hayden.
Sure, the play was a fake into the middle of the line and let him come out on a bootleg with an option runner pass, so Holloway saying, well,
and Bill Austin together.
He's saying take it any way you can get it.
I think he'll smile even at this late date, because he will take it.
First and goal from the 2. Cardinals trailing 24-3.
All right.
There he goes. Rolling into the end zone. Burns, Leon Burns. And he shortens up the Dolphins' lead to 2 touchdowns. If the Cardinals can get one more.
And then one field goal.
But nevertheless, we'll be back in the Orange Bowl after this. Should Bakken decide to go with an onside kick, trailing by 14 points, 9:42 remaining in the game, he would probably kick it to his left, where Roger Worley is located. Roger Worley with the good hand. The single safety, Mercury Morris. It must travel 10, and we get the straightaway kick to Mercury Morris. Morris over the 15, up to about the 18-yard line goes Mercury Morris. All right, the ball marked just short of the 20-yard mark. Earl Morrill going all the way. Here's Morris. Oh, can he turn it on? Out to the 36 goes Lightning Mercury Morris. Clock moving, 8:33 remaining in the game. Dolphins 24, Cardinals 3. And Morrill, I think, anticipating the snap a little early, and here goes the other one, Zonka. Look at him run.
That was a funny-looking play. Looked like everybody was just kind of standing around there. Zonka was the only one that was moving. His offensive line didn't move that much. Let's see it again. Well, they're in there playing around, though. And Zonka's finding him a place to go. Cut to the outside. Miller Farr, Roger Worley. I'll ride you for a while, pal.
They keep churning out the yardage this way in the late going. They'll have that 200-yard ground game before they're done.
You talk about that Buffalo game. I read a story in a paper down here. Mar Fleming caught a touchdown pass, and as he was coming out of the end zone, he found a $10 bill lying in the end zone. Now, you don't do that too often.
Wouldn't tear it up in 40 pieces, though.
From the 44, 1st and 10, flag goes down, Zonka goes down, wrapped up in the arms of Larry Stallings.
It appears they got Wayne Moore on that one, number 79.
First down at 25 following the penalty. Well, just over the 40 of the Dolphins. 8:11 remaining in the game. First down again, number 39, Zonka rolls over the 50. Well, coming up just short of the 50 is Zonka. No, to about the 49 of the Cardinals. Second down now and 15. Dolphins got on scoreboard first. Kick scoring from 2 yards out. St. Louis came back with a field goal. Miami got their own field goal. It was 10-3 at the halftime. The Dolphins have broken it open in the third quarter. Look how quick Mercury Morris is.
He really is. Here comes a couple more flags.
Yep. It's a face mask, obviously, and let's take another look at it.
You saw Mercury Morris make his reaction when he saw Don Brum, number 86, go upfield there. Picked up a good one right here, and let's see. You can see it pretty good. There's that face mask. Old Dale says you got to get him any way you can.
Automatic first down goes with the face mask penalty. 1st and 10 Miami, moving on the Cardinals 43, and over the 40 to the 39. Second down and 7, the ball resting just short of the 39-yard line of the Cardinals. Morrow almost trips again. Gets the screen to Mercury Morris. Morris inside the 30. What a new dimension Morris adds to the Dolphins. They still have kick to come back with, but boy, can this young man get to the outside. Picks up the first down at the 28-yard mark. Here comes Larry Wilson. The safety blitz is picked up. It could be 6.
He is so wide open.
That's what happens when you pick up the safety blitz. Otto Snow gets his second touchdown.
Frankie's just so wide open over there. He was
Uncovered totally, but Frank noticed so well the way that safety blitz was picked up on Larry Wilson. Beautiful. See the youngster?
All right, here's Zonka. I believe he's the one that picks up Larry Wilson, number 8. And Earl has plenty of time to throw, and I'm telling you, Otto Stowe is all alone. Old Thompson's having his trouble tonight. Mr. Stowe.
And Earl Morrill having quite a night. His second touchdown pass to Otto Stowe. He's 12 of 18, 210 yards. And the ageless one continues to roll on. Well, I would call him ageless. Still has his crew cut. So now 5 receptions, 123 yards as we look at Darrell Yeplemian. So the Miami Dolphins extend their lead 31-10 over the St. Louis Cardinals. We'll be back in the Orange Bowl right after this message.
As this game begins to grind down, Gifford, in retrospect, it's gone about as expected. Miami a little sluggish in the first half, putting things together in the second half. Morrill mixing the pass with the run beautifully. 2 TD passes to Stowe. And they're just a good football team.
Solid in just about every way. Mumford, who has already returned 1 interception for a touchdown in the Miami prevent defense. Second down and 10. The ball at the 47. Clock moving, 4:09. Lost the football. Miami recovers. Might be Baltimore, 65. It is. Baltimore with the recovery.
Cookman, he's a good one.
Okay, on the 3rd and short yardage, and look at the big man ball. Larry Zonka, what can you say? He just runs over people. Nothing subtle about him.
Over the 100-yard mark for the day, Frank. 15 carries, 108 yards.
And Zonka gets a standing ovation from 80,000 Dolphin fans. 2 minutes remaining in the game. The Dolphins in command of the Cardinals, 31-10. Okay, a second down and 6 now. The ball resting at the 28-yard line of the Cardinals. Jim Delgazio.
Can't throw much better than that.
Boy, he drilled that time.
Oh, catch him much better. That Otto Stowe is some kind of receiver.
Yeah, old Norm Thompson's going to remember this, but watch this kid right here. Sets real good, follow through. What's it throws? Right on target. Good move out there by Stoke.
Clock stop, 1:16. Boy, look at that.
Yeah, they piled it up this half, Don, Frank. That's the whole story. Second straight year down here in the Orange Bowl, fellas. We've had the Dolphins, and they've poured it on. Last year, they proved their worth when they crushed the Bears 34-3. And now they're quite possibly on their way to making it 38 points for the evening against the Cardinals. They lead 31-10, a minute 14 to go.
And Otto Snow, as Howard mentioned a moment ago, has had himself some night. 2 touchdowns, great hands, a lot of promise.
He's averaged 24 yards per reception, Giff. That may be better than you had in your last year.
I guarantee you. Clock moving, 42. The Miami Dolphin fans want more. Hubert Ginn. Larry Wilson, he's another man that won't quit on you.
The fans are booing. They want even more. But the Dolphins are going to let this clock run out. It's 5. It's 4. They're not seeking to pour it on any more than they have to.
And that's how it's going to wind up. The Miami Dolphins winning their 11th straight game. 31-10 over the St. Louis Cardinals. And this is some kind of football team.
We're going more with a long pass as opposed to the short over-the-middle stuff. Is this more to Earl Morrall's style? We see more of this?
Well, not so much Earl. We just pretty much try to do what the defense dictates that we do. We thought that their coverage was such that we could get some long ones in there. We hit one long one against regular coverage and then another one against the safety blitz where Larry Zonka just picked up Larry Wilson, who was blitzing, and Otto got open on the corner man.
Quite a few more passes thrown last night. Is this something that we'll see more and more of?
Well, yeah, you do what you think that you have to do to win. If the running game is going, you might throw the ball 6 or 8 times. If the run is having trouble, you might throw the ball 40 times a ball game. And the ideal thing is to have the type of club that you can do these different things during the course of the ball game and take what the defense is making the easiest for you. This year he's had a real healthy training camp, and he's been ready to play each week with the exception of an ankle injury that he got after he played some in the first Jet game. But he certainly is capable, and I'm just very happy about his development. And Paul this week should be ready to play, and I'm happy to see that also.